Trustee Geezer.
Here.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Here.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Here.
Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Severino.
Please rise. Join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get started, I'd like to just ask for a moment of silence for the 49 people senselessly killed in New Zealand, along with the so many others injured. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the March 4th, 2019 special workshop?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Schwarzy, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hensy.
Abstain.
Trustee Urlacher.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 14th, 2019 Village Board meeting?
So moved.
Second. March 4th. Moved by trustee LaRocca, seconded by trustee Geezer. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy.
Abstain.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. And a motion to approve but not release the executive session minutes of the March 4th, 2019 Village Board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Schwarzy. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy.
Abstain.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. What seems to be a ongoing pattern with us, we have another resolution recognizing somebody for 20 years of service. Trustee Geezer had asked to read that in honor of Joe Rupp.
Thank you very much. This is resolution number 3075, a resolution recognizing Joe Rupp for 20 years of service with the Village of Carroll Stream. Whereas Joe Rupp was hired as building maintenance employee on March 8, 1999, and whereas Joe Rupp has been actively involved in the renovation and improvements to village facilities, including the historical farmhouse and municipal center renovation projects, and whereas Joe Rupp has utilized his valuable insights and expertise as building maintenance employee to troubleshoot and repair a multitude of village facilities and equipment, including the Ross Ferraro Town Center Fountain and Visitor Center and Daylily Park. And whereas Joe Rupp has assisted other departments with special assignments when needed, including location of GPS coordinates for the engineering department and collection of automated meter readings for the finance department. And whereas Joe Rupp is fluent in multiple languages and provided valuable interpreter services to the police department for its non-English speaking contacts. And whereas Joe has responded to many snow and ice clearing events at the municipal center during all hours of the day and night, and whereas Joe Rupp places a high priority upon building comfort, economy, and efficiency for residents, guests, and employees of the municipal center. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream on behalf of all the former and current elected and appointed officials, employees, and residents of Carroll Stream as follows. Section 1. Joe Rupp is hereby recognized and commended for 20 years of dedication and outstanding service to the Village of Carroll Stream. Section 2, Joe Rupp is wished the very best in the future. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage as approved by law, passed and approved this 18th day of March, 2019.
I'd like to make the motion, we accept resolution number 3075.
Second.
Moved by trustee Schwarzy, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. And because we've had so much fun having everybody come up here to take pictures, come on up here, Joe.
All these languages that I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. I truly appreciate it. 20 years seems like yesterday, and people that I work with, that's what made it so wonderful. It just It's been a blast. I mean, now it's time to go fishing, I think. And when I go fishing now, I'm not coming back because I have to go to work. It's because the fish stop biting. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it
Congratulations.
again.
Thank you very much.
Joe, come on up here, take a picture with us.
We do.
Right in the middle there, young man.
Absolutely.
Haven't been cold ever. Huh?
One, two, three. One more. One, two.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I do not believe we have any addresses from the audience. I didn't see any in there.
We're gonna have one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. Trustee Frusaloni has asked to read the proclamation celebrating 2019 Earth Hour.
Thank you. Proclamation celebrating 2019 Earth Hour. Whereas in March 2007, the World Wildlife Federation, the world's leading conservation organization, organized the first Earth Hour campaign in Sydney, Australia, to solicit the support of citizens, world governments, and global businesses to reduce energy use all across our planet. And whereas last year's Earth Hour event involved 187 countries, whose citizens and institutions undertook actions in support of climate protection that included turning lights off at 3,000 landmarks worldwide. And whereas the theme of this year's Earth Hour campaign is Our Planet's Gain is Everyone's Gain, and whereas Earth Hour 2019 provides Carroll Stream residents, local businesses, and governments an opportunity to unite as one community to collectively reduce our locally generated carbon emissions from indiscriminate energy consumption. And whereas residents and business owners are encouraged to visit the Earth Hour 2019 website at www.earthhour.org to see how you, your family, neighborhood, or business can take action to combat climate change. And whereas this year's effort can be followed on social media by using the hashtag #ConnectToEarth. Now therefore be it proclaimed that Mayor Frank Savarino Sr. and the Village Board of Trustees, Village of Carroll Stream, DuPage County, Illinois, in exercise of its home rule powers, does hereby proclaim Saturday, May 30th, Earth Hour in Carroll Stream, and encourages residents and businesses to turn off all non-essential lighting and appliances between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. Proclaimed this 18th day of March 2019.
Thank you very much. And I think we do have one address from the audience, so we'll wait 1 second here. Richard, please come up to the microphone, state your name and also address.
Richard Young, 1160 Sandhurst Lane, Carroll Stream. This is more directed towards the Chief of Police and also you. In the last year, there have been so many incidences that I can't count involving the house behind mine. I've lived in Carroll Stream for 25 years. Today, and this is impromptu because I didn't know this meeting was going on today, so I'm a little unprepared, so bear with me. Today, with guns drawn, police and SWAT team tactical outfits are swearing behind my house and through my property. My wife and kids are being told to stay inside the house. I'm being told that I can't even get to my house because of this. And after numerous phone calls to the police, reports, going in and filing reports, I am continually being told that I have no right to understand what is going on at that property at 1159 Eddington. I am beyond outraged at this, that as a person who is paying the god-awful taxes that I'm paying in this DuPage County and to this village, and after 25 years of being here, that I have no right to know what is happening and why in my own backyard, because they have the right to privacy. Meanwhile, all during the summertime last year, I have gang fights going on. I have people fighting in the streets. I have people passing weapons around in their backyard parties. I have gang thugs from the city coming in. And this isn't just a simple case of, to me, of me complaining because there's some noise or there's loud music. This is watching underage girls being pulled out of the house and put into police cars and into ambulances multiple occasions. This is, the longest I've counted is 16 days, 18 days without a police visit at that property. And I'm being told that I have no right to know what is going on there. Numerous requests to this village office and the administration department and to the police department. I have requested, what do I need to do to get a Freedom of Information Act to find out what is going on? And those requests go unaided. So I am directly asking you, what do I need to do to find out what is going on at that property?
Excuse me. The majority of those issues, unfortunately, I cannot talk about. There have been other issues where there have been arrests. A few of those have been on press releases, but that is a house that we've been concentrating on. We have been out there numerous times, but the vast majority of those times involve issues that we cannot talk about. And like you said, I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just saying that's how it is we can't talk about private personal issues even though they call the police for assistance.
I understand that, but when you're coming there with guns drawn and I'm being told that I can't access my property, when do I, as a citizen who has paid taxes in this village, all right, and I'm not trying to be confrontational, all the officers that I've talked to have been more than nice, and they've explained as well as they can, but my limit's been reached.
No, I fully understand. I don't know anything of what you're referring to for freedom of information, but if you file a freedom of information request, we will release what we can to you.
Where do I get this?
From our records department.
On the website.
Yeah,
It's on the website?
On the website,
yes.
Freedom of Information, there's a form there. You can fill it out, you can email it or drop it off or whatever you want.
I just want to know what it is that I'm dealing with. I've asked your officers on numerous occasions, if I call, I don't want 3 squads parked in front of my house before they go visit this house, because I don't know what I'm dealing with back there. I can't get in a tit-for-tat war with them, because just like the NFL, the person who retaliates always loses. And I don't want to be in a war with them because I have no idea what it is that I'm dealing with these people, what they're capable of or what they're doing. If you're showing up with guns drawn and the stuff that you're doing and hauling these people out that I see continually, and you obviously know more than I how many visits you've been out there, and it's more than just a numerous.
That's correct. That is correct.
It's getting to the point where I'm living in fear in my own house, in my own property, that I've been there for 25 years. And I have 3 kids, I have a dog. I don't know what these people are gonna do. I know that they taunt my dog when they walk by it every single time. They already think that I've called the police on them, and I don't need the battle. I don't need the aggravation in my life.
That is, I understand what you're saying. That is a property that we're working on.
And I get told that, and I'm sorry, it's just not good enough. We're living in fear there of what's going on. We hear the constant yelling, the constant arguing, the fights, the people that show up and live there for 3, 4, 5 days that are fighting amongst themselves. This is a constant thing that we're, and I moved out of the city and that to get away from this. And you guys say that you're doing something, but I don't see anything being done. And today is the final straw when there's people searching my house with shotguns drawn. And I can't figure out why can't be told why you're there because of their privacy. What about my privacy? If they're coming out their guns, if you've got your guns drawn, then there's obviously a reason. And they obviously have weapons on their end. I've seen them just from the way they talk and the way they act and the violence that they create amongst themselves in their own free
Yes,
time.
well, I can tell you that the times that we have been there that were not of a personal nature, we have made arrests. But, if they reside there, we cannot force them out. I mean, that's a
The owner of the property doesn't even live here anymore. There's got to be some legal thing that you can start doing to working on him as a homeowner,
we have been.
as a nuisance, because I can't go through another summer of this,
No,
living in fear, and I can't go out in my own backyard after 25 years. And I don't know how long you've been in this village, but it's ridiculous.
I would suggest we can talk about this further tomorrow.
I agree.
And then,
I've requested somebody to call me from higher up at the police department, and I could give you a list of the officers' names. This was very impromptu, this meeting, so I don't have that list of my contacts.
yes, we can, you have your information over with the mayor pro tem, and then we'll get in touch with you tomorrow, and then we'll set something up.
Thank you.
And we can fill you in on what we can, but I can assure you, we've been working on that house ever since those people moved in.
I understand it's a year ago since this started, so,
Richard,
and I
can I-
understand
can
it's
I-
longer than that.
Just share some personal experience that I had.
Yeah.
Personal experience I had a similar situation in a home that I lived at here in town. Lived there for about 12 years before I moved. And I talked to the chief at the time, which was not our current chief, and Richard, he informed me, all you can do is continue to call 911. And the more the police are actually at that house, the actual better it is for, believe me, I'm not downplaying your situation, please, no. But just from experience, the more times the police are there, the better it is and the closer they are to getting out. And it took about 4 years of me calling the police constantly, and they did, and they show up and they handle it and they do what they can, and eventually.
I understand that, and I know that they're there and I know that they're doing, but I'm also living in fear, and I can't keep having the police show up at my house before they go visit that house, because then they know, and it's just a retaliatory thing on my end. And, I'm very well versed in what the legal limits are as far as me defending my property are, and it's never good for me, So when it gets to a thing of, vandalism and constant harassment and that, it's always the homeowner that's getting the problem first, is always the one that takes the big hit.
Completely understand your feeling, really do. The one thing we do have on the books is our crime-free housing. If it's a renter living there,
Yeah, a lot of it depends on what type of renter it is, if it's a family member,
makes it more difficult.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was a situation in my neighborhood where it was a family member causing all the mischief.
It's
The drug gang or the-
And I'm not trying to come up with an
I
excuse, I'm just trying
understand.
to look at our options.
I understand that, and that's why after today, I'm looking for options too, because you know what, I can't go through another year of again, I've counted 18 days or 16 days of the longest period without a police visit over there. And, you know what, I think I missed a few, just from not being home, so,
Well, absolutely sit down with the chief or somebody on management staff with the PD and see what you can learn that way.
all right.
Unfortunately, they're going to be stuck, if it's an ongoing investigation, there's only so much information they can give out.
I understand that. I just need to
Right.
know, what kind of danger am I in?
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Schwarzy, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy. Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. All yours.
Thank you. Under Board and Commission Reports, 1, Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals, A 19-0005, Village of Carroll Stream, 500 North Gary Avenue, 2019 zoning map. Recommend approval, 6-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Under Staff Reports and Recommendations, number 1, Emergency Light Repair Services, Contract Extension, Fiscal Year 20, to H&H Electric for the period of May 1, 2019 through April 30, 2020 pursuant to the provisions of Section 583B and Section 5814O of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 2, award a contract for plant bed maintenance to Berry Landscaping for plant bed maintenance in the amount of $58,275 for the period of May 1, 2019 through April 30, 2020.
Yes.
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 Number 3, request for change order number 2, engineering services agreement for WRC NPDES permit assistance with Baxter and Woodman in an amount not to exceed $7,500.
Yes.
Yes.
Under ordinances, we have ordinance amending Chapter 5, Article 7 of the Village of Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances, motor vehicle licenses.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2019-3-10. Ordinance amending Chapter 8, Article 5 of the Carroll Stream Traffic Code, traffic schedules, schedule for turns.
Yes.
Yes.
I would just like to, if we might. I live over there, and that has been a constant rear-end accident, so this is something.
This is banning left turns onto Pawnee from County Farm Road.
Very good. That is ordinance number 2019-3-11. Under resolutions, we have a resolution declaring surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3076. Number 2, we have a resolution authorizing the execution of the official zoning map of the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That is Resolution 3077. Under payment of bills, regular bills, March 5, 2019 through March 18, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
And addendum warrants, March 5, 2019 through March 18, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
Second.
Moved by trustee LaRocca, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. Is there a motion to approve those by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Giesers, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. That was quick. Report of officers. Trustee Shorzy.
Thank you, sir. Joe Rupp, thank you so much for your 20 years of service. I did want to, last meeting, I believe, or maybe the meeting before that, we talked a little bit about how Carroll Stream's been a local leader in environmental initiatives over the years, and a couple things. Of course, we're celebrating Earth Day on March 30th, but the Municipal Center, when this was built, some certain green initiatives were included to conserve water and reduce energy consumption, and we're starting to see results on that. So I asked Village Manager Meller to talk about that.
That's correct. We have some preliminary numbers on our water usage here at the Municipal Center. We've noticed a significant decrease in water use, and that's primarily due to the low-flow water fixtures, the low-volume flush toilets, the water-conserving drinking fountains, and I think it was 40 to 50% decrease, so
Very good.
it's pretty significant. As well as the lighting, we're all LED lights now as opposed to the compact fluorescent bulbs, so.
Very good. Thank you. Environmentally friendly and money saving as well, so thank you very much. Also, last meeting, we introduced new member of the police force, Coda, and we hear we've had some success with him already. Chief Saylor? Yes. Sheriff? Thank you.
We received some information during one of our patrolmen, during one of our contacts here, of some drug dealing going on. And as a result of the information, we cultivated an informant, and we learned of the actual dealer living in another town. And because of the information that we obtained, we were able to get some undercover drug buys. And with that, we got a search warrant with the help of DUMEG. And we went to the house, and using the dog Coda, the Coda dog found, I want to say it was about 300 grams of rock cocaine hidden inside the house. Chances are the officers wouldn't have found it. So it paid off within the week.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Great. You know, just, it's my 2 cents on Mr. Young, as far as the comment. Again, I feel your pain. I'm not the expert, and I'm glad you're talking to the experts tomorrow. I will say, in my situation, there were times I was calling the police 3 times a day. And yeah, I worried as well as you do about that. The more the police are there, really the better and the safer it is. I think, again, I'm not the expert. I'm glad you're talking, but I just wanted to share that with you, that's all. So thank you. And then just remind everyone, please shop in Carroll Stream. Actually, Mr. Young, sorry, because you brought this up, one of the things I say at the end of every report is shop in Carroll Stream. The village of Carroll Stream actually does not enact a municipal property tax. Our taxes are high, 0 of it goes to us and the police, so just passing that on, so. Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of my report.
Which I agree with, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Trustee Geezer.
Thank you. We received some good news this week on the Veterans Memorial front. We received a $15,000 grant from the Daily Fund of the DuPage Foundation, and that puts us over the $200,000 mark. So we've reached the goal with the help of the community of reaching the $200,000 mark to build this memorial. Now, we're still in the middle of bidding out things to be, so bids may come in a little high or a little low, so there will be maybe potentially a little more money needed, but this is great news for the community, great news for the veterans, and great news for everyone here in the community. And speaking of, there will be, before we receive this information, we had a fundraiser planned for April 2nd at Culver's, and that'll still be going on. Who doesn't want to eat Butterburgers? So come on out and talk to the veterans and celebrate with the veterans, actually. Also speaking of Culver's, the Parade Committee will be holding a fundraiser on April 30th at Culver's, so please check that out. We're getting closer to the Thursday night concerts, and I hear there's some good news to report on the fundraising. So Tia, how's the fundraising going?
Fundraising is going very well. We're waiting for a little bit more paperwork to come in, but it looks like, again, this year, we will fully fund the summer concerts with business sponsorships. That means no tax dollars are going to put on these community events.
So, very good. Thank you for all your hard work. And finally, every year, probably for the last 3-4 years, I've received a stack of letters and drawings from Miss Rosagnolo's second grade class at Evergreen School. And they do a section where they discuss how people, even little kids, can make a difference in their community. And so they've written me letters and pictures on what they'd like to see or what they believe would be a benefit to the community. So I just want to read a couple of them. Here is one that said, "I think that you should add a Beyblade stadium to a park. The reason is there aren't any Beyblade stadiums in the environment." And if you're not sure what Beyblade is, that was a game, according to my son, that was popular.
And it has made a resurgence, and
yeah.
actually, the mayor received a request from students at Roy DeShane School, and he and I went and visited with the kids and had a Beyblade tournament and pizza lunch last spring.
That's like spinning tops, if
It
you're not
is,
aware.
very expensive spinning
Yeah.
tops.
We need more houses to live in, so we have no homelessness, and we need to make this permanent. So that's someone thinking. I think we should have high dives at Fountain View and at outdoor water parks, and we should consider adding hot tubs to outdoor water parks and a teen section, because the teens can be loud. So,
Yeah, it seems like a bad,
Signed, Trustee Fruzalone.
seems like a bad mix.
Nothing to do with that.
We're not giving teenagers a hot tub.
No.
I think we need more banks because we have more money, so we can buy food and buy water. That is why I think we should have more banks. I wish it worked that way.
I do too.
I wish that worked so simply. And finally, I'll read one more. Can we have a swing for our school and don't pay for it? And we want our community to have lots of police to keep our community safe. So,
work
thank you to the students at Evergreen School, second grade class, Ms. Rosignolo. I'll be going to speak to the class later this week.
Very nice.
That is-
Thank you. Trustee LaRocca.
Thank you. I actually have no report this evening, but I have to tell you, Trustee Gieser, that was awesome. It warms my heart when you get letters from kids, and I love hearing what kids have to say. But I do want to congratulate Joe Rupp and thank you for your 20 years of dedicated service to Carroll Stream. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Frisoloni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. That's a mouthful. Sorry. I actually have a question for Trustee Gazer, because someone asked me this.
Sure.
So with this horrendous weather that we've had, this winter that we've had, the Memorial Park construction project, are they still on target to be done for Memorial Day?
We are planning on holding the event at the town center, at the new memorial, Veterans Memorial, at the town center.
Did you say that you plan on, that it's going to be completed, or that it's just going to be held there?
Well, you'll need to talk to the Park District about, because they're doing all the.
I didn't know if they-
permitting for
I
the
didn't- yeah, I didn't know if they had
construction.
given you
But most
an
of the infrastructure work has already been completed.
Right.
So the other work, from what I'm told, it should be done. But of course,
I didn't know.
who knows if we're going to have another
Someone had
solar
asked
or
me
polar
if
vortex.
the winter had put them behind schedule. And I said, I
They had
didn't
everything
think so,
done.
that
They had
they
everything
had most of
done
it
that they
done.
wanted done.
Yeah, the excavation. Perfect. Thank you. Congratulations to Joe. He's fantastic. In that resolution that we read for him for his 20 years, we also should have put in there that he came in on a Sunday. It was a Sunday that we were here when we were doing the stockings for Christmas sharing, and we needed garbage bags. We needed bags, big bags to put them in, and Joe came in on his time off to get them so that we could package up all of the stockings for the Christmas sharing program. And that's just one example of what he does. I mean, he's an amazing employee, and just thank him so much for his service. The other thing that I want to mention, and I meant to mention this at our last board meeting, is that we are now taking the village board meetings and we are putting them on our YouTube channel. And I think that is fantastic. It's something that I personally have wanted to see for the last 8 years. And I'm glad that we are finally at a point in time where we can be able to have the board meetings accessible to residents who don't have cable, who don't have, access to the public access channel. But we will still be broadcasting or showing the board meetings. We continue to show them on Comcast and on AT&T, but now we have another avenue that we can use. So please go to the Village website or just Google Carol Stream YouTube. And it's pretty fantastic. I've actually been watching the board meetings. They're not bad. The cameras in here, technology, very, very well done, Mark. Very well done. So thank you for doing that. I know that that's been something I've been bugging you about for many years, so thank you for getting that done. The other thing that I just want to say is today was the day that all of the early voting sites opened up. Previous to this, just the county was open for early voting. Get out and vote. The local elections are probably the most important election that you are going to vote in. That is where all your local governing taxing bodies and non-taxing bodies are going to have, representatives that are directly going to impact your pocketbook. So please get out and vote. Early voting is open up now at Stratford Square Mall. They have extended hours now over at the county building. There's no reason not to be able to get out and vote if you can't vote on Election Day. We are 2 weeks away, so please get the message out. We have a lot of new voters that this will be their first election. My son actually got to vote in his first election. We did early voting over the weekend, and I was very, very proud to be able to go and vote as a family. I have 2 adult children that were able to vote. And it's really cool to be able to get out with your family and do that. So please exercise your right to vote. If you have, children that have just turned 18 and are able to vote, get them registered. You can register right online and they can still vote in this election. But it really does mean a lot, especially at this level. And then on a very personal note, I would like to congratulate the Bradley Braves, that is the school that my son goes to, on their NCAA March Madness trip to, where are we going? Des Moines, Iowa. This Thursday, they are representing the entire state of Illinois against Michigan State. And while I will say that it will be a very interesting basketball game, I am traveling to watch the pep band. My son is in the pep band, and it's really cool to be able to see your kid work so hard and to be chosen out of 100 musicians to be one of 29 that gets to go.
As a freshman.
As a freshman, that gets to go and play in a nationally televised game. So congratulations to Bradley, and go Braves. That will end my report.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Trustee Hennessy.
Thanks. Just briefly, so I was at the incident that Mr. Young came in and talked about today. So, I just wanted to mention, I think his concerns are very valid, and, I think the board did a good job respecting that. And then maybe, Chief, you or I can have a conversation just about just some thoughts I had. The reason that I was there is because my mom is his next-door neighbor. So, vested interest in the property for sure. And my mom will contact me if there's too many squirrels in her yard, so I'm just kidding. She's not. But anyway, a serious situation for sure, and I know everybody involved is taking it very serious, so I appreciate that. And other than that, that's it. Spring's here, huh?
Finally.
Yeah?
We hope so.
Okay, all right. Good.
Thank you very much.
Good, thanks.
Put the plows away, Phil. Put the plows away.
Our clerk, Laura Zarnicki.
I just wanted to say congratulations to Mr. Rupp as well, and I was there the Sunday when he came in just to bring us garbage bags. When I say just, I mean, we had a lot of garbage, so it was very much appreciated. And also, I do always end my report talking about the military, and I'm not sure if people really realize that a lot of people will wear red shirts on Fridays, and there is a meaning behind that. Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. So a lot of people who want to outwardly support our military, you'll see them actually wearing red shirts on Friday. So if you have some red shirts on Friday, wear them. And that ends my report.
Thank you very much. Our village attorney.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I don't have a report this evening. Thank you.
All righty. And our village manager, Bob Miller.
Well, if Phil's going to put the plows away, he's certainly going to be bringing out the Vector. We're going to be doing some sanitary sewer flushing. We started last week. We do about 10 miles a year out of 100 total miles of sanitary sewer approximately, a little bit more. So the work this year will be in the southwest portion of the village. So if you see the big Vector out there, it's a big flusher vacuum.
Giant shop vac.
Yes, it is a big machine. You can get additional information on our website, Facebook, Twitter, or by calling the Public Works Department. Congratulations to Joe Rupp. I think it was mentioned in the resolution. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He's multilingual, so he's helped the police department out with some of our non-English speaking contacts. He's also helped out the engineering services department doing some GPS locates when needed. He's also helped out finance doing some meter readings. So, and that's in addition to the work that he does for the municipal center and the town center and the farmhouse. So, and then at the last meeting, it was mentioned, we mentioned our emergency response system and the Code Red alert system. TIA is going to be updating our contact list with Code Red. Going to be purging some old information, and then we'll also be asking residents to update their information so that we're not sending messages out to people that are no longer in town or no longer want to be on the list. And one more comment, as a result of the renovation at the library, which will begin shortly, they're going to start holding their board meetings at the municipal center. So the board offered to allow them to use the board room for their meetings as they offered to allow us to have our board meetings there back in 2000. So we're returning the favor. So I think their meetings are on the third Wednesday of the month. So I think that'll be starting next month. So.
Thank you very much. I'll apologize early. This might be a long-winded report. First off, Joe Rupp, congratulations. Thanks for 20 awesome years. You're an exemplary employee. With springing, we hope, take a few moments, make sure your storm grates are cleared out. With all the winter, the leaves get pushed over there with the rains and the thaws and the snows, everything gets pushed towards that. We start getting some heavy rains, the clearer those drains are, the better off we all are. So if you got a few minutes, just make sure they're cleaned out, and while you're at it, make sure there's no garbage laying around that just makes the village kind of look sad. This is a good time to kind of get it ready so that when things start to get green, it's a beautiful community. So the last 6 to 8 weeks, we've been doing a thing. Bags Committee, which is myself and my wife Linda, Sarah Marcucci, my daughter Shannon and son-in-law Tim Foley, Gene Mondrala, the whole Sabalowski family, Trustee Frusaloni, our clerk Laura Zarnicki, her husband Paul Zarnicki. Did I forget anybody?
Nick.
Oh, and Nick Porter. Kids know him as Mr. Nick. We set out a goal of raising $20,000 for Relay for Life. And thanks to not just village staff came and played, which, by the way, there was a staff member who was playing on finals night. Kevin was playing. And then, of course, Chrissy's and Flood Brothers. Everybody who donated, and the list is way too long to go through. We will absolutely be donating over $20,000 this year. Not only that, we also dropped off a donation to the Ronald McDonald House with $1,700. So we had a very good year, and Laura, Paul, Mary, any of you guys want to comment, please do. I'm so thankful for everybody who played, who got involved, who bought raffle tickets. Of course, our sponsors. We even had Get Healthy with Katie even sponsored our T-shirts. We had people jumping in and really getting involved, and it was pretty wild how crazy it got. And, yeah, it's gonna keep building next year, no matter what trustee Frusaloni says. I don't know, either you guys have a comment on the whole?
You know, again, I've said this countless times. Carroll Stream is one of the most giving communities, and this just shows it every single year. And every year, it kind of surprises me that people will come up to us after it's done and said, I didn't know anything about it. Well, if you didn't know anything about it, then we have not done a good enough job of explaining it. But it's amazing to watch the community come out, not only have fun, but how many people say, I want to donate something just for the sake of, you know, to have, what did we have, almost 15 to 20 raffle
Nightly
prizes
raffles.
every single night, and we did 12 different dates, which is absolutely amazing to have that level of support. And generosity, I mean, people that, you know, just donated money just for the sake of donating money. And yeah, we probably could have had double the amount of nights if we really wanted to and still been able to fill them.
Mary said
We're
it.
not going to do that next year. Yeah, trustee McCarthy is limited to no more than 12.
13.
12. But just thank you to the community. It really makes you feel great when you see that many people come together for such a great cause. And I hope that we get that many people to come out to the actual relay event in August. So that's all I wanted to say.
I was just going to mention how absolutely phenomenal our kids' tournament turned out.
Oh, that was
a brand-new
crazy.
thing we did this year, and we had, when I say 25 teams, you have to realize that's 50 children who were participating, and then we had all of their siblings and friends along with. It was a wonderful event, and it has taken off so well. Of course, being our first year, we didn't know how it was going to be. We're already talking about splitting it up into 2 days so that we can accommodate everybody more comfortably. Yes, Mary, we are.
Thank you. And Paul, thank you. Paul was stuck scorekeeping for about 40 hours, I think it equals out to. It gets a little monotonous there, and he's the one, if anybody's got a question, they give him dirty looks if they think the score is wrong, so.
Yeah, I think
Him and
I
Mike
got-
Belfer were awesome.
I got a lot of dirty looks walking around pumping people for raffle tickets night after night after
And
night.
T-shirts.
I'm so glad people will not be looking at me that way anymore.
I'm glad to have my
So,
Monday.
thank you, everyone. With that, we are having an executive session to discuss.
That's correct. We have 2 items for executive session this evening. We have the first item, collective negotiating matters pursuant to Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act. And the second item is setting a price for the sale of or lease of property owned by the public body pursuant to Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act. There will be no action taken after the executive session, so the motion will be to go into executive session for those 2 items and then to adjourn directly from executive session.
Make that motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Shorzy, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy. Aye. Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesner.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye.
Hey, Matt, I've got. Okay. Going.